to explain why you are here. So this is Professor Richard Claproth, and you can see that. Please do introduce yourself and explain why the panels and how important it is.
Yeah, my name is Richard Claproth. I work for the Indonesian government for 35 years as a deputy minister. But for the last 20 years, my interest is in the healing. So I developed many methods for healing, including during COVID, where you don't have to be vaccinated. We have a member called COMUSAF, Comunidad Mundial per la Sana en Vida. We have a member of 11,000 scientists, 7,000 doctors, and 1,000 lawyer. We need lawyer because you know the situation. But today I want to talk about, very short, about the Indonesian contradictory fact sheet and the World Mosquito Program. Yeah, next slide. So, what is the World Mosquito Program? World Mosquito Program, formerly known as the ADP or EDP, Eliminate Dengue Program, is a non-profit research consortium operating in a number of countries. So their aim is to develop a bacteria called Wolbachia as intervention to control mosquito-transmitted viruses such as dengue, Zika, and chikungunya. The key feature of the WMP is the intentional release of Wolbachia infected mosquito into target area that will then transmit Wolbachia into wild Aedes mosquito population. My friend Michael and Francis will explain more about technical about this because we share our presentation next. Okay, World Mosquito Program project have 12 countries that become guinea pig as an experimental.
Good.
So there are Brazil, Colombia, Mexico, Indonesia, Sri Lanka, Vietnam, Australia, Fiji, Kiribati, New Caledonia, and Vanuatu. So in Indonesia itself, actually it was financed by the Gillespie Foundation from this NGO, I think, from Australia. And in Indonesia, they work with the Save the Children Foundation. And also there is Tahia Foundation, which is a local that contribute for the research. But it's very strange. These 12 countries, for me, become an experimental for this project. Next. So, there is a recommendation from the Vector Control Advisory Group in 2020. It is in the meeting of the WHO Vector Control Advisory Group. In the meeting, the conclusion is that vector control, you know vector control, Francis will explain it, conclude that the evidence presented by the applicants on the WML integration into population as Aedes aegypti, is a type of mosquito, demonstrate public health value against dengue. This recommendation, based on VCAG's assessment that public health value has been demonstrated, VCAG considered there are sufficient data for WHO to initiate the guideline development process to formulate a recommendation on the deployment of the Wolbachia intervention for dengue control. So this is recommended by WHO. So what happened in Indonesia? Next slide. So the Minister of Health have a 6 national strategy on dengue control. The first strategy is enhancing effective, safe, and continuous vector management. We have, they call 3M program. And then the second one, improving access and quality of dengue case management. Third, strengthening comprehensive dengue surveillance and responsive outbreak management. Fourth, increasing sustainable community engagement. There are a lot of community engagement in this project. 5, strengthening government commitment, policy, and program management and partnership. I just stop until 5. Because for the last 10 years, with this 5 program, you can see the graph that the dengue fever cases dropped so much, significantly. If you see the monthly case for the last 10 years, with the first 5 programs that I told you, you see, from January, 10 years ago, until now it's depleted. The dengue fever is depleted. So 2013, it is number 2014, 2015, 2022 is depleted significantly for the last 10 years. Every point here is 1 year. So, with the first 5 programs, it showed that it's reduced significantly. Next. Now you see the data on dengue fever statistic, the severity or the impact of dengue fever related death in Indonesia and Bali. I put in Bali also. If you see, the incident rate is the blue color and case fatality rate, dengue fever in Indonesia from 1968 to 2022. Actually, until the 47 weeks. So if we go another 5 months, it's until 2023 in January. If you see, the case of fatality rate reduced a lot because of the local wisdom. They have their own medicine, and then they clean all the place where the mosquito is there. So you see, but even the incident rate increased, but the fatality rate is reduced. So from the image above, it is evidence that the case fatality rate or number of deaths due to dengue fever in Indonesia in the last 20 years is very insignificantly low. See the red graph. As for the number of dengue fever cases, incident rate in the year, the end 2003, it has decreased actually. From here you can see it's decreased compared to year 2020, the incident rate. So it can be concluded that in the last 20 years, regardless of the total number of dengue fever cases that occur, the mortality rate has always been low. This indicates that dengue fever is not a severe or a dangerous disease. Now we'll see the amount of how many people get sick. Next. Okay, this is the graph of the distribution, the death distribution of province. Indonesia is from west to the east, around 5,000 kilometers. It's the same like from California to New York. If you see the chart above, display the cumulative distribution of the dengue fever death in Indonesia up to week 47 of the year 22. So you see, it's localized here. Yeah, it's only localized. Here, no, relatively free, it's only localized here. In Bali, Bali is this, there were only 10 deaths due to dengue fever. This number is very small compared to the total number of deaths in Indonesia, which is 1,014. Only 10, 0.1%. The number of deaths to dengue fever in Indonesia is much smaller than the number of discovery corpses in a 5-month period from 1st January to May 24, 23, which is, if you see, 1,681 cases. Not yet include 451 suicide cases during the same period. Okay. Yeah. So you see, the people that die during accident is much higher. Accident in the street, much higher than dengue fever in Indonesia. So, this is the figure show the intensity with the highest number of dengue fever cases, and the highest number of death to dengue fever. Yeah. So if you see there is the name of the city, Bandung, Semarang, and so on, there is no Bali, there is no Denpasar. So if you see the red one is Semarang, number 7 is Jakarta Barat, Kota Bandung. So from the two figures of us, it is evidence that the cities or district in Bali are not among the top 10 in terms of dengue fever cases, incidental rate, on the top in terms of death to dengue fever. So it does seem unusual that the government would prioritize Bali for mosquito control program. If it is not among the top area with the highest number of cases, perhaps there are other factors or considerations that have influenced this decision. So it is possible that Bali's high tourism and population density might contribute to the focus on mosquito control as preventive measure. Ultimately, the decision could be based on various factors, including health infrastructure, population density, and the potential for the disease spread. But very strange why Bali is included in the program. Next slide. I have not many slides, so I will be rapid. So this is the four city that the cases of dengue fever increase sporadis, but not yet endemic. If you see Sumatera Utara, Kepri, Jawa Timur, there is no Bali. So the image above mentions a list of 14 districts that transition from sporadic to endemic status over a period of 3 years. Surprisingly, Bali is not included in that list. Once again, it is puzzling why the districts listed in the report are not prioritized. So if this sporadic and go to enemy, why this area is not prioritized for government mosquito control program? Why is it that Bali is the focus for mosquito control instead? Next slide. So now we see the data in Bali for the last 9 years, incidental rate. For the last 10 years, from year 2013, it's increased here in 2014, and then we put the 5 program that I mentioned first, reduce, increase also in reduce. If you see every time it is increased, there is always related with El Nino, with temperature. A certain temperature make like this. So, but if you see the graph, in general, it's a lowering. So this image also explained in Buleleng area. This Buleleng area is in the west of Bali. The Buleleng area are specific pilot project conducted by the World Mosquito Program with phase 1 covering population on 1 million people. So the World Mosquito Program Global has a signed memorandum of understanding with the previous government of Bali. So regarding the evidence and study about the long-term ecosystem impact of this project, it is crucial to ensure that any large-scale intervention, especially one involving the release of modified organisms, is thoroughly studied and monitored. And they don't have this study. That's the irony. They don't have this ecological study. So the ecological impact assessment should be conducted to understand and mitigate any potential unintended consequences on the local ecosystem. As for why Bali, which is a prominent tourism destination, is chosen as a pilot project, there could be several reasons. Bali high tourism traffic might increase the risk of disease like dengue fever spreading. Additionally, Bali international prominence might make it a good location for showing cases and testing innovative instant control strategy. However, the specific reason for selecting Bali should be outlined in the project objective and planning document. The most interesting thing that this program runs into 7 cities. 5 is financed by the government of Indonesia, but the 2 area is financing by an NGO, foreign NGO, by the Australian. It's not a national program. And they are going to release 200 million mosquito, and we do not know the impact. Continue. So, the Minister of Health have partnered with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. This is amazing. To transform the health system in Indonesia. Can you imagine? That's so ridiculous. A minister appointed by the president make a policy to transform the Indonesian health with a foundation, NGO. In this case, it's Bill Gates. And what is sad, that the agreement they have, they don't publish to the parliament, they don't publish to the people. So we do not know what is the non-disclosure agreement. But the fact, we can see next slide, but then they add, because of the World Mosquito Program, they add program number 6, improving assessment, invention, innovation, and research as the basis of accident-based policy and program management. Here they put the program for WMP. And if you see the program of WMP in the number 6, I can say eliminate the first 5 programs. Eliminate. So there is no activity there because now it's based on that. So this is, you can see the contradiction of the Indonesian strategy, because the point number 6 they just put after they sign. I will show the video. The next slide. So then, since This last month, we make a campaign to stop release the GMO, the biggest GMO in Indonesia now. So we can see why many expatriates, many Indonesians gather together. But remember, this is not only in Indonesia. They implement this is also in Fiji. They implement also in Mexico. In Mexico, last month, there is an incident where the pilot of an aeroplane have to come back landing because thousands of mosquitoes come to the aeroplane. And the interesting thing is when they did this in Sri Lanka, the people that get hang fever rise triple, 61,000 is the highest. So we have to be very careful. What is this program? It is really program to help the people, or is another agenda? Ladies and gentlemen, in Indonesia today, there is a group gathering by the military, by the intelligence. They are opposed with this. So, as an Indonesian, I beg you to support this. Because if we lose, then it will be spread all over Asia and all the world. Don't be ignorant. This is a well-planned program by people that want to annihilate the people that they say is not useful. So, 2 days ago, we have intelligence operations, and many people were shocked and angry. All the generals are angry. All the police are angry because we have many police that are corrupt.
Yes.
Francis and me, we personally have seen the governor by himself. And he said he's going to stop, but he never make announcement. So I also feel suspicious with him. The police after that police saying yes, 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 but don't stop it. That's why last night we have, I may be endangering myself to say like this, but for the sake of people in Bali. Today there is a big conference at the same time, and if they still continue, I think this country will be divided too. So, before it happens in your country, please spread the news as quick as possible and put the international pressure, because the corruption, the pollution, they don't care about this. I'm a civil servant, I'm engineering myself to say like this, but I can see, I can smell, I can sense. And in a TV, in Bali TV, I say, if the major will not stop this, I'm going to sue him, because as a civil servant that's responsible for the people, he didn't take care. What he said, let me do it this program, because this can enrich our knowledge with experiment like this. So tomorrow, I already filed a report to the police for the Safe Nation and for WNT, and tomorrow, with the governor, I'm going to sue them, and I'm not alone. So I need your support, really, as a nation, because I love not only my country, but I love all of you. And for Michael, you've done, Francis, thank you as a foreigner. I know you help us a lot, and I need to keep still the pressure. Thank you.
I have spoken in University of Gajah Mada about this program. I gave a public lecture on Wednesday in which I raised my concerns. And I learned that, other Indonesian academics were also concerned about the original program. And indeed, the first 2 years of the World Mosquito Program in Jogja, they could not go ahead because they could not persuade the province, special province of Yogyakarta, to get permission. I don't know how they managed to persuade that province, but ultimately permission was formally given. In the case of Bali, we can find no evidence that permission was given, save the children have informed us that they never received official permission from the governor's office. The governor, Costa that is. He's currently seeking re-election, so he's not in charge. The acting governor also did not get permission. So they do not have permission from the province. They do not have permission from the coordination department in Jakarta. They got permission from the mayor of Denpasar and from the communities that they consulted, where they went with their publicity saying it's going to be wonderful for you and you're going to get less illness and so on. And dengue is a real issue. I mean, I'm not denying that. I know people who've got dengue in Bali and been ill for 2 or 3 weeks and felt ill for months. I'm not denying it's a problem. The question is this the right way to tackle it, given the unknown risks? That's the issue. And the fact is that, I mean, I'm a foreigner, but I work for University of Gajah Mada, and I have discovered that there isn't. The official procedures were not gone through in the case of Bali. They were in Jogja. I don't challenge that. They got the permission of the province. They did not get the permission of the province of Bali.
Okay. We better stop to let the next people on, but thank you for hearing us. Really appreciate it.
I'm sending this information to some people in Bali and also in Surabaya. So let's see, I can put their names on the chat with you in WhatsApp. Right, we'll see what we can do ASAP. So he said he'll call. It's a general in the military, so we'll see what happens. And yeah, we'll stay in touch today.
Thank you. Thank you
Okay,
very
thank
much.
you so much.
Yes, thank you so very much for coming on, really, and do stay for a little bit of a musical interlude. But these are pretty strong songs as well, and I'd like to introduce to you also Kurt Shore, who came to our Better Way conference in Bath, was so impressed, and he created 2 songs, and one of them is pretty heavy. It's about child sex trafficking. So do stay on and do listen. This is the very last hour of our 3-day symposium with my incredible sister co-host, co-organizer, Dr. Maravik. And we have everything on Rumble. So in between this very, very important, timely project, if you have time to come on later. But be assured that we will be sending out the information as much as possible. So we're bringing out this clip first of all and sending it to WCH. So you're all part of WCH Indonesia, I understand already now. So terima kasih dan sampai berjumpa, and yeah, hati-hati semua. Yeah. Thank you again. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you again. Stay online and then just listen. And then Kurt, we would love to invite you in